In a small village nestled deep in the heart of the forest, there lived an old man known to the townsfolk as Ezekiel. He was a recluse, a hermit who resided in a ramshackle cottage at the edge of the woods. The villagers whispered tales of his strange behavior and ominous presence, warning their children to stay away from his dwelling. One cold and misty evening, a dense fog enveloped the village, shrouding it in an eerie silence. The townspeople huddled in their homes, seeking solace from the oppressive gloom that had descended upon their once peaceful hamlet. As the night wore on, a sense of unease settled over the village, a feeling of impending doom that gripped the hearts of all who dwelt there. It was during this fateful night that the siege began. From the depths of the forest, a relentless horde of shadowy figures emerged, their eyes gleaming with malevolent intent. The villagers watched in horror as the creatures advanced upon their homes, their spectral forms moving with unnatural swiftness through the fog-shrouded streets. As chaos reigned in the village, the old man Ezekiel emerged from his cottage, his eyes alight with a strange and unsettling gleam. He was a figure of mystery and intrigue, his tattered garments billowing around him as he advanced towards the advancing horde. The townsfolk watched in awe as Ezekiel raised his hands towards the sky, his voice echoing through the night like a chorus of lost souls. With an unearthly power, he unleashed a torrent of energy that engulfed the shadowy figures, sending them reeling back into the darkness from whence they came. The villagers stared in disbelief as the siege was repelled, the creatures vanishing like smoke in the wind. Ezekiel stood before them, his form bathed in an ethereal light, a savior in chaos. But as the dawn broke over the village, a grim realization dawned upon the townsfolk. Ezekiel's powers were not of this world. He was a being of darkness and despair, a harbinger of doom who had unleashed forces beyond their comprehension. From that day forth, the village lived in fear of the old man and the siege that he had repelled. Whispers of his dark deeds echoed through the streets, a reminder of the horrors that lurked just beyond the edge of their world. And so, the old man Ezekiel remained in his cottage at the edge of the woods, a solitary figure of mystery and dread. The villagers knew that his power was great, but they also knew that it came at a terrible price. For as long as he roamed the forest, the specter of the siege would always linger on the horizon, a reminder of the darkness that dwelt within the heart of man.